It's a film produced by the daughter of a man who set off a bomb hoax in 2004. The man was jailed for the incident for 3.5 years. His daughter is Noor Shahidah. She's 20 years old, and she's produced a short film of the incident, which pretty much shows what the threat of terror did to a family. You know, it's a very intimate look at a family's experience of their trials and tribulations as they come to terms with the consequences of their father's crime. The film has been nominated in the National Youth Film Awards. Today I shine the spotlight on two films. Coming up, we'll speak to the director of a film called Unveiled, and that is a documentary that aims to break the stereotype of women wearing the hijab. But first, we're going to take a closer look at Azza. Here is an excerpt of the film.
Save some for your Baba.
Where is Baba? How come he doesn't eat with us these days?
Your Baba has some problems at work. That's why he hasn't been himself lately.
Amma, will Baba bring us to the zoo? If Baba said he will, then he will. Baba?
If your Baba doesn't bring you both to the zoo, Amma will. Okay?
I believe Baba will. I trust him.
What you can't see in the backdrop of the scene that is unfolding right now is a man approaching an MRT station.
Trust too easily, Azza.
And we know that he's about to commit the crime that will see him behind bars for 3.5 years. Joining me is the young woman, Noor Shahidah. She was 7 years old at the time when this was unfolding. It wasn't a, fiction for her family. It was reality. The film is titled Azza, and joining me now is Noor Shahidah. Shahidah, welcome to the Culture Cafe. Congratulations on your film's nomination.
Hi, yeah, thanks for having me here today.
Now, tell us, you were 7 at the time when this happened. We understand that your father was at the center of a bomb hoax. And could you tell us the details of what exactly he planted, or what was the crime?
Oh, okay. So basically back in 2004, he actually created this bomb hoax made with some of my sister's belongings. And he planted it under one of the seats in an MRT train.
So this was a shoebox with some of your sister's belongings, a file with her name on it. And then he called the police to say it was a bomb, when in reality it wasn't a bomb.
Yeah, so it was sort of like false information. So at that point, he got arrested and was in jail for 3.5 years.
Right, and I understand that your mom wrote the music for this film, so she wanted to be part of telling this story. What was your family's reaction to you saying, I want to make a movie about what happened to us?
Oh, because before even pitching this whole idea, I ran this through with them, and because my whole message was to educate the public about, terrorism and that it really happens. So they were quite cool with it.
Okay. Yeah. So you were 7 at the time. Your sister was older. She was 10. Understand?
Mm-hmm, yep.
So to what extent did you rely on your memories, and to what extent was what we see in the film true to what happened to you and your family at the time?
Honestly, at that point, I didn't really remember much. More of, there's the crying scenes, more of those kind of things. So, about 90% of it was from my sister and also my mom. Yeah.
And what they told you about what happened. Did you get, I understand your mom has remarried, and you and your dad, what kind of a relationship do you have now?
Oh yeah, my mom remarried definitely after some time, because she was focusing on, financially supporting us at first. But after that, she finally focused on herself and got married.
Right.
My relationship with him is, it's quite okay, honestly.
With your dad? You still see your dad? And you have a relationship with your dad?
Yeah. I think But, after whatever happened, I don't think things can be back to normal.
Right. And what does
But,
he think
yeah.
about the film? I mean, was he involved? Did he have input into the film?
No, because we actually decided to just work with what we know from my mom and my sister's perspective.
Right. The film is called Azza. So is that about your sister's perspective? What does the title refer to?
Oh, yeah, because usually terrorism is told through, the terrorist perspective. So this time we decided to, start with a different angle from, a kid's perspective. So that's why we decided to title it as, Azza, because my sister was the one who was most affected by this incident.
So your sister was 10. She was even questioned by police because, as you mentioned, some of her belongings were in that shoebox, which was the fake bomb that was planted at an MRT station. A science file, I understand, with her name on it. Tell us a little bit about the impact of this episode on your sister, what we get to see in the film.
Oh, because when this whole thing happened, she was definitely, deeply affected at the fact that her own belonging was used. But I guess she, learned how to be more independent and also be more resilient because, you have to bounce back from these kind of things that happen in life. And also, I think that as a family, my whole family, we just, grew strength from within and bonded, I guess. Yeah.
Was it a shock? I mean, we just heard in the excerpt before this segment started an excerpt of your film where your little sister talks about how she has complete trust that, your dad is going to take you to the zoo or take the kids out to the zoo. And so this trust, I can imagine, was brutally rocked by what happened. Did any of you understand why your dad would have planted that bomb hoax?
Honestly, at that point of time, my dad he was really a family man, So this whole thing was very unexpected to all of us. But if I were to guess, I would say it was just marital problems, lah.
That's what you understand from what your mom has told you.
Yeah, but in person, it definitely wasn't expected at all.
Did you interview your dad directly to ask why he did it?
No, I think this is not really something I'd like to, ask him. Because it's a bit sensitive.
Right. So
Yeah.
nobody in the family had seen this coming. Nobody thought that had he had sort of tendencies towards talking about terrorism in a supportive way?
Yeah. None of us really had clues about it, lah. But I think, what we're trying to focus on is about how it actually happens in Singapore. And, we have to communicate the consequences of this in our country because I don't think a lot of people realize that it's something that happened.
Yeah, it's a very emotionally heavy role for the central figure Azza, right? Because it's a young girl. The role is actually of a young girl. She's supposed to be 10 years old at the time, but your actress is how old?
Oh, my actress, she's really great, by the way. She's 12 years old, and she definitely,
Yeah, she does a great job. Child actress Vinati Naidu, who I understand also acts on Vasantham, our MediaCorp channel. She does a fantastic job. What did she Why did she convince you that she was the one for the role?
Because she could really understand, the emotions and whatever drove this character Azza to her decision, and I felt that she could take charge of it as a young child lah. Not a lot of kids can do that, I feel. So she's pretty intellectual.
So I understand your film Azza is going to be part of the Singapore Stories Initiative or SDCs. Does that mean that's where everyone in the public how can we watch this film?
Oh, yeah, I'm really blessed for this opportunity because SDC is screening our film exclusively in their iWorks theatre for 1 year. And it's actually going to be free for Singaporeans and PRs. So I'm really glad that I can bring this, about to Singapore Discovery Centre because, I think not everyone has an opportunity to showcase their film on the big screen.
Yeah.
And, yeah, so I think for terrorism, we really have to bring this to a mass audience. So this was quite a good opportunity for us as well.
So I can imagine that it brought back a lot of memories for you. What were some of the difficult moments for you as a director revisiting this? Must be a painful episode for you and your family.
Oh yeah, I'm actually the producer of the film, and one of the most difficult scenes was actually there's a porridge poisoning scene.
Yes,
So,
explain that to us. Basically, your mom is cooking the porridge and that she's laced it with pesticide. Is that it? Or poison?
Yeah,
Because
some
she
sort of
wants
poison.
she wants to put an end to the family's life, but of course she doesn't serve it, right?
Yeah, real life now. But when shooting it itself, the scene was very emotional because there's a lot of crying and, retake. So we had to take it about, 10 times. So I was really, emotionally challenged at that point.
Yeah. But that was a scene that actually happened.
Yeah, it did happen, actually. And I'm glad that it did because it really molded us to be stronger as a family. We appreciate life more, I guess.
Well, your mother has really gotten back on her feet. She owns multiple businesses, I understand. At one point, she had 2 or 3 jobs that she had to take on to support the family, and now she owns multiple businesses?
Yeah, I'm really happy. She actually, really found herself after this and found, her calling because I think she's really great at managing businesses. And, yeah, I'm just really proud of what she's accomplished there.
Fantastic. And take us back to the starting point. By the way, the film looks really great. I mean, the shots,
Thank you.
the color quality, the emotions portrayed by the actors, all really top notch. You mentioned you're the producer. We know producers have to deal with money. How much money did it take to get this going?
It was actually about 20K. So, but the thing is, SDC actually helped us and, commissioned our film for 10K.
Okay, so that helped with the
So-
budget, huh? Half the budget.
Yeah, and, it was really helpful. It wasn't exactly 20K lah. Just,
Well, how did the rest of it get raised?
we also got sponsors from IMDA.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that really just basically covered everything lah.
That's fantastic. So
Yeah.
you are a former Temasek Poly student, and
Yes,
and did you study filmmaking at Temasek Poly?
yeah. I graduated from digital film and television, in Temasek Poly.
Okay, so when it came to telling the story, you and your crew, did you feel that you really had all the tools that you needed to storytell in this way, using film as your medium?
Yes, because I think that, in Singapore, social issues like this are not really addressed, and because we're quite conservative as a country. So film is really a great tool for us to translate this issue because, entertainment, Singaporeans enjoy entertainment, especially in for SDC because the free film, So, yeah.
Well, I've read that one of your intentions for this film was, to hope that there would be greater neighborliness and people would reach out to people around them. Were you and your family shunned because of this incident? Your father and the bomb hoax. Were you shunned by the community? Did you feel?
It was very subtle, honestly, because at that point of time, it was just from the kids, because I was a child myself at that point of time.
Yep.
So I didn't really experience much of the shunning, other than the different treatment from other children.
At school?
Yeah.
So
it definitely happens, lah.
And what is your main hope then? You've talked a little bit about, opening the conversation on terrorism here in Singapore. What is your other hope that this film will do for those of us who watch it?
Okay, firstly is of course the awareness aspect and, for resilience and all that. But I think these are the important values that you have to take from this film. Secondly, I think we also have to be more supportive of each other in the society. And I think this is all the point of the Singapore story, because trying to encourage, community support and also, yeah.
Well, congratulations. It's a great achievement. Looks like a wonderful film. Thank you for joining us in the Culture Cafe.
Thank you.
Nur Shahidah there, who is director of the film Azza. We're going to take a listen to a little bit more of the film. And in just a while, we'll join another storyteller, filmmaker, find out more about a film that's challenging stereotypes of women who wear the hijab. Stay with me.
Saw me make it?
No.
Did you lie to the police?
If the bomb was real and had gone off, you would have killed hundreds of people.
So you lied.
You are my father, my role model. How could you do this?
How could you do this to me? You know how much I have suffered?
You left me alone to take care of Amma and Nawi.
Don't use that tone on me, Azza. I'm still your Baba.
Not the Baba I knew and trusted. Amma tried to take her own life. And ours.
She did what? How dare she?
Don't you dare blame Amma. You drove her to this. You did this. You almost destroyed our family. Why did you do it?
I'm sorry, Azza. I'm sorry. I was angry. I was confused.
We have to carry on with our lives now. Without you.
Azza, give me a chance. I can fix this. Remember? Baba can fix anything.
Excerpts there of the film Azza. And you just heard an interview with the producer Nur Shahidah. We wanted to talk a little bit about a second film, but we can't get through to its producer, unfortunately. So we're going to have to leave it there for our spotlight on films that have been nominated for the National Youth Film Awards. Oh, it looks like, looks like Christmas came early. Hi.
Baba has some things to fix. It's going to take some time. I'll be home soon. I promise.
Okay, time to shine the spotlight on the second film that has been nominated for the National Youth Film Awards for 2017. She's a young filmmaker who's decided to create a film that I suppose takes aim at the